Hello, and welcome to Book 4, Chapter 10 of You Should Be Reading. This week, I'd like to talk to you about Killobyte by Piers Anthony. Now, this is an interesting little book I picked up, mostly because of the cover art, because it's got like all pixelated dragoning there and a pixelated castle, but you can see a princess up in there, and there's a dark, shadowy figure behind her, and you got this mustached dude in armor bearing a sword and a shield ready to fight. And what is it about? Well, as the name might imply, Kilobyte, and the pixelated look, it's about a video game, a very specific video game called Kilobyte, with like dozens and dozens of rooms and servers and scenarios, but it's all virtual reality. And the very strange thing is, this particular game of virtual reality is set in an almost anachronistic sense. This is what virtual reality was conceived of back when we were still connecting to the internet via phone lines. So just to give you an idea, because this is how the characters interact with it. Uh, the thing that I found most interesting, well, before I get into that, it's basically about Walter Toland. He is a wheelchair-bound cop, a former cop, who the only he ends up getting involved in Kilobyte, getting the game and trying it out because he wants to feel uh, he wants to feel again uh, below the waist because he hasn't been able to. And in the game, he can walk because it triggers virtual reality. It's reading his mind as to how he should act, so he gets that sensation of actually walking, and it's very, very interesting to him. So he gets involved in that way. Then there's the young lady by the name of Baal Curran, Baal, and she is young, I believe in her late teens, 17, 18, possibly even 19, 20-ish. I'm not 100% sure on that, but she's around that age. She's quite young, um, and she's getting involved in this because she wants to experience death. She's been contemplating suicide, so she wanted to get in there. And this game supposedly has that experience, the experience of death, and she was interested in checking it out. But as she gets into it, the game is actually showing her more about. She ends up learning more about living than dying. And then you have the mysterious freak, the shadowy figure in the background here, who is a computer hacker and has ended up trapping Walter Toland in the game so that he can't log out, and is taunting him and trying to get him to do things simply to please his own twisted natures, uh, which is what hence freak. So all of that is interesting. Um, but you've also got the problem that Walter Toland has a pacemaker. So every time he dies, the game is like giving his system a shock, which is causing problems with his pacemaker. So if he dies too many times, there's a good possibility he'll die in real life. And then you have Ball, who is a diabetic, and she's ends up getting stuck in the game as well, not being able to eat. Her sugar starts crashing, which could also lead to her death. So these two are in a race to try and get Freak to get them out, to try and somehow get out of the game, get out of the problem. So it's seriously interesting how it goes about it. Now there are those out there I know who don't like Piers Anthony for whatever reason. I don't know. I've heard just some very slight rumors about this. I haven't delved into it too much because I haven't really read a lot of Piers Anthony. I've read some of him, and the stuff that I have read has been interesting enough so that I'm not completely turned off by the man. I'm trying to keep things separate there and not really delve into it too deeply because I might not like his books anymore. And I always hate when that happens. But the really interesting thing is the way they describe virtual reality. When the scenario is not actually active, it is to Walter anyway. It looks like cardboard. Like all the characters he's interacting with, all the scenery, it's all cardboard. And then suddenly it comes to life and looks real and natural when the scenario is active. And it's very strange. Um, they also deal with the matter of diabetics and having diabetes as being almost life ending. I mean, it's almost treated like a curse in this, which is very, very strange because I know a diabetic personally. I don't have it myself, knock on wood. One day I'll probably end up developing it because it runs in the family, and I'm a little big. Um, but regardless, they kind of Piers Anthony kind of with the character Ball. Um, it's very strange how he has her thinking of her diabetes, at least early on. It's weird. I couldn't quite wrap my head around it. But other than that, the story is it generally tends to progress more or less along the same lines. There wasn't a lot that happened in this that I didn't kind of see coming, just because of the way everything was laid out. But it's still quite an enjoyable read. So I really rather liked it. And you might too. You might too. I don't know. Um, but I don't want to spoil anything that does come happening along this in case any of you want to give this a try. So I'm going to leave this video here. As always, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Uh, give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos. Usually try and get at least one video out a week, if not more. I've been doing pretty good on that lately. Hopefully I can keep that up. And throw a comment in the comment section. If you like Piers Anthony Killobyte, have you read it? Do you like any other of his books that you think I should read? I've already read the Incarnations of Immortality series, which I really enjoyed, and I covered one of those books on this channel. So yeah, do all that, and until next time, remember, you should be reading Killobyte by Piers Anthony, and I'll see you next time.